Greetings. My name is Pastor Axel Kaegler from St. John's Lutheran Church, and since the end of our midweek Lenten worship services and the end of Holy Week, I've been kind of wondering about how I can help you deepen your faith in the middle of these weeks of quarantine. For a little while, I had thought about recording videos about the Bible, but then I realized that that's more something we should be doing in a Bible study, and you're already getting scripture in our worship services and hopefully on your own at home in your daily devotions. After that, I had thought about using our calendar of the saints in the ELW, but then I realized that the calendar of the saints is tied to, when the saints died. So there are some weeks when there are like 2 or 3 lesser feast days of the saints, and then there are some periods of like 2 or 3 or even 4 weeks where there's nothing to talk about at all. So I thought that really erratic schedule wouldn't necessarily serve you all too well. So what I've kind of come to is that we use this, the Book of Concord. These are the collected confessions of the Evangelical Lutheran Church to which we belong. This is a chance for us to explore the structure of our common faith and the faith of those who've gone before us, to go a little bit more deeply into what we do and what we say. It's a chance for us to better understand why we do and say the things we do and say, when what we do and what we say seems to be in pretty stark contrast with a lot of what we see around us. So that's what I'll be trying to do in the weeks ahead, starting with the teachings of the catechisms, the small and large catechism found, once again, in the Book of Concord. Because these texts aren't simply, a spoon of medicine for the 16th century soul, but I think of them instead as a kind of trellis of the faith. They help us grow in love. They help us grow in faith, and they help us grow in service to God and to our neighbors, whom we've been called to be with. A trellis is a piece of gardening equipment. It is what we use to help fruit-bearing trees grow upright, and it's what we use to help fruit-bearing vines grow larger and grow healthier. So I don't like to think of the Book of Concord like as just merely historical data to be put up and against other data. And I really don't like thinking of it as kind of like a theological straitjacket that we must abide by, otherwise you're going to be a heretic. Instead, I like to think of it as a friend, as a guide, as the collected wisdom of those who've gone before us and those who've been through similar struggles to what we're going through now. It's this collected wisdom of wise friends and partners who are in the journey with us. And it's a thing that helps us grow and think and question and challenge ourselves, the world around us, and even the documents themselves when we find that it's in tension with what it wants to proclaim. So through exploring some of these basic principles of the Lutheran faith, I hope that you too will find your faith growing, as I know that this book has helped me grow. And I hope that you'll join me and continue to join me in the weeks ahead as we get into some of the framework of our common faith, the basics of our faith, in this video service that I'm going to be calling Confessions in Quarantine. See you next week.